First off, there are overpowered characters, and then there are characters who are overpowered enough to destroy an entire army. Yes, one man versus an entire army. The people we're mentioning in this list below can handle an entire army all alone, by themselves, without even breaking a sweat. And to add a bonus, we've got several narcissists, pessimists, and even some sociopaths in this list. As usual, we plan on bringing more videos in the future, so don't forget to stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button along with the bell notification. Without further delay, let's get to our list. Number 10. Gilgamesh. I used to sleep back in history class, but the first time I ever googled the name and history of a king to learn more about him was when I witnessed the power of Gilgamesh in Fate Zero. The guy was intimidating enough in the original 2006 series, but add that extra cream of UFO table animation, and you've got one of the craziest and most powerful blonde boys in anime. Gilgamesh first made his appearance in the third episode of the Fate series, where he impaled several dozen of assassins without even lifting a finger. But that wasn't his most badass moment. It came in the last arc of the series, where he slayed an entire army of riders with the power of Enuma Elish. Both Ryder and Waver Velvet were awed against their battle, and that was the moment even Ryder realized the power of one of the most oldest kings in human history. And that wasn't even a battle, it was a one-sided massacre. Number 9. Rory Mercury, from Gate. She's a demigoddess and an apostle of Emery, so there's no limit to the power she has. In truth, she's 961 years old, but for the sake of looking powerless, she appears as a 13-year-old girl and has the power of no mortal can ever wish to have. Want proof? Check how she massacred an entire army of soldiers during the three-way firefight between the US soldiers, Russia, and China. Rory has super fast speed and is a master when it comes to the use of halberd. She uses the same weapon to dodge rapid oncoming bullets and do fatal attacks. Let's not forget how she kept smiling while attacking, and until she was the very last one standing. She also didn't take any sort of damage from the oncoming bullets and managed to become the victor of this three-way fight without even a scratch. Next time, instead of nukes, tell the US Army to send her. Number 8. Tanya, Yojo Senki. Want a stone-cold sociopath who is also good at mass murdering armies with one single bullet? Tanya's your gal. Tanya is similar to Rory in many ways, with the only difference being the equipment they use. Tanya is much more skilled in air combat and has extreme precision when using guns. She also has the talent to mix it up with magic and take the effects of her attacks up an extra notch. One of her main tactics is to outmaneuver her opponents and lure them to close quarters before killing them off with her mage blade skills. In the 11th episode of the anime, she takes over an entire army alone, rapidly shooting each of them before finishing them off with a single rifle bullet. Yeah, one bullet. She just needs only one bullet to kill an entire army. Yeah, that's how skilled she is. Number 7. Levi Ackerman, Attack on Titan. I don't think you need an introduction to Levi. He was first introduced to this series when he killed 2 Titans without breaking a sweat. He took down the female Titan all by himself, and the fight between him and the Beast Titan can't even be called a fight because Zeke Yeager barely had the time to raise a hand against him. But the best example for Levi handling an entire army is his battle with the Kenny Squad. This squad was the most talented assassination crew of the government, and all of them were pitted against Levi, with Kenny taking the lead. It was amazing how Levi used the techniques of the maneuvering gear and combined it with his own skill to take them down one by one. This was the first time we saw the maneuvering gear used in such a smart manner, and Levi was careful enough to even use the environment around him, such as the small alleyway and the rooftop, for his advantage. He is humanity's strongest soldier, after all. Number 6. Alucard, Hellsing. Alucard is not only a vampire, he is stated to be the strongest vampire of all time. He appears in the anime series Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate as a ruthless killer who has no mortality at all. At one time, he massacres an entire army of soldiers in the most brutal way possible, giving a sadistic smile the entire time. He fed one of his rivals to the dogs and nearly summoned an army to battle Anderson. Yeah, so he's no short of surprises. He has regenerative abilities as well as enhanced strength and agility, which makes him the perfect weapon when fighting a large number of people. Add his callous, pessimistic, and ferocious personality, and you've got one of the most dangerous monsters in anime. Number 5. Ainz Ol Gaon, Overlord. He is called the Overlord, and he has a power to prove that name. Ainz Ooal Gown is a cold, calculating, and also more powerful than any other magical being in the world. Over and over again in the anime, he has shown his power against multiple antagonists and anyone who stands in his way. But one of his most powerful attacks was the Super Tear spell he used to summon 5 Dark Young La Shub Niggurath. He used this against the 240,000 Riestes army, where he cruelly murdered all of them with the help of these creatures. Due to his leveling up when the world was still a VVMORPG game, Ainz now holds massive amounts of power and magic spells, and has proved so in the battle. Right now, there is nothing in the world that can stop him. Number 4. Shikyu Ryogi, Kara no Kyokai. Shiki from Kara no Kyokai is a special case. Unlike many other characters in this list, she doesn't have an almighty power or an arsenal of magic spells, but what she does have is the mystic eyes of death perception. These eyes help her to visualize the lines of death among any other being, either if it's human, a resurrected dead being, or even a god. She has a special knife which she can use to cut these lines of death and then remove her opponent out of existence. If you hadn't noticed, this is a very handy trick when killing off multiple opponents, since she just has to focus on the lines of death. And this is what happened when she fought with the creations of Soren back in the 5th movie and managed to slay all of them alone. Number 3. King Bradley, Full Metal Alchemist. He can look like a gentleman and a killer at the same time, but there is no mercy for his opponents in the battlefield. King Bradley inhibits the power of wrath, and unlike many other homunculi who got born from Philosopher's Stones, Bradley was actually a human who had the Philosopher's Stone infused to him. Like many others, the embedding of the Philosopher's Stone gave Bradley enhanced strength, speed, reflexes, stamina, durability, senses, and even instincts superior to a normal human being. Even his presence brings a sense of intimidation, and when he goes mad, it's best not to stay near him. He proved this when he defeated an entire army alone in the final arc of the anime, and even destroyed an army tank with just his sword. Number 2. Madara Uchiha, Naruto Shippuden. The Fourth Ninja War had its ups and downs, but the 5 villages were united, and they stood along with each other against the threats which gave them the advantage, until the appearance of Madara Uchiha. This was such a special moment in the anime, because his name was mentioned in quite a lot of Shippuden series, and even Obito used to fake himself as Madara, just to intimidate others. As soon as he is born, Madara takes on an entire army all by himself, and the great thing about him is how he combines jutsu along with his physical agility to take down people one by one. Rather than casting out large spells that can kill thousands, he actually charges into the battle alone and takes down the ninjas either in small groups or by dodging fatal attacks to every ninja that attacks him. That was pure jutsu plus years of skill, and that's why Madara deserves one of the top spots on this list. Number 1. Saitama, One Punch Man.
必殺マジシリーズマジ殴り
Perhaps you've seen this one coming, and the answer for your questions would be obvious. Saitama can end the fight in one punch, killing each of his enemies within 1 millisecond. Not only can he fight an entire army, he can fight the whole world all alone if he has to. Apart from that, he has unbreakable skin, and he even withstood all of Boros' ultimate attacks. I don't think examples would be necessary for you. But if you ask me to point one out, how about the way he massacred the entire alien ship to find Boros? And he even came out without a speck of dust after getting hit by Boros' most powerful attack that nearly shattered the entire ship. He may feel bored as he hits and kills each guy with one punch, but that doesn't mean the people getting hit feel the same way. So, what did you guys think of the video? Who is the man, or woman, you would send in the front lines of an entire army if they were to capture you? Let us know down below in the comments section, and don't forget to remind anyone we missed. And if you haven't joined our growing community, make sure to hit the subscribe button along with the bell notification to stay updated. With that said, I hope you guys have a safe day, and stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.